Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So war season has officially restarted, and what a word it was. Typically NEWN actually does very badly in the beginning of the season, but I seem to have absorbed that into myself. Let me explain. There are some awesome things in this war, and there are some poor bad things in this war. So my team is basically Hercules with Black Panther synergy and also Dr. Doom. We're going up against Matrix, and they're a very strong alliance. They're typically in Masters as well, just like NEWN. So we knew it's going to be, hard war. Fortunately, we actually gave them an early lead as well. We did rush ahead in exploration compared to them, but we also, I think, died like 5 times by the time I woke up, by the time I took the screenshot. So when I woke up, it was 1 death to 5, I think. But we obviously had explored more. We had gotten to like 95 kills. Nonetheless, that didn't fill me with confidence. So my path 1 here is... Sorry, my section 1 is path 1. And I'm going to be doing both fights with Dr. Doom. It's, fairly standard. I have fought Tiger there a ton of times. I'm just kind of making sure that the nodes haven't changed. Going to boost up a bit. And this fight... I have done it like at least, I think, 30 times probably, and it's not too bad. I understand why Tiger occasionally gets placed there, not occasionally, but quite frequently, because if you do get cornered, it can be slim pickings also if you do get caught with the level 1, but for most part, you just kind of need to capitalize on her dashing back and hit her block to stall out the time she's unblockable. And then past that period, you're pretty much safe. And then obviously she's triggering her buffs and everything else. So Mystic Dispersion gets fueled, and Dr. Doom is still full, beautiful yellow bar of health. I'm gonna use my level 1, and that is gonna be pretty much level 3. And then we're just gonna go into combo, and that's pretty much the end of the story there. She's using her level 1, giving me some extra power, wonderful. And go for level 2, and the fight's over in under a minute. Right, then we're going to move on to the next fight, which is Korg. Masochism, again, I'm going to use Dr. Doom. Not much to worry about there, because Dr. Doom does not take damage back from Korg, because he does energy attacks. And yes, Korg is shock immune, so, it can be a bit annoying, and obviously Masochism can shrug off my parries, but it's fairly straightforward fight. Really don't mind fighting Korg with Dr. Doom, especially after I think first time on my very first Abyss path, I did Dr. Doom versus Abyss Korg, and those fights lasted forever, but it's kind of like a good practice to remind yourself. The main point is just to kind of go for your level 2s and be done with it. I did trigger Masochism there at some point, but that's not the biggest deal. Here we obviously do want to get rid of all of his rock charges before we activate the level 3, because otherwise they will absorb the damage from a level 3. Now I'm just going to go in for a full combo just to give him a bit more power. Use my level 3 again. So he goes down from 67% to... And this is a rank 4 Doom, by the way. Not using the biggest boost for these initial couple of fights either. So he goes to 49%. And then at this point, not worried at all. He's at level 2 there, no problem. I was thinking to either go for my level 2 or go for level 3, but now he has his rock field charges active, and level 2 would place debuffs on him, so trigger Masochism, and those charges could replenish themselves as well. So I just decided to go for level 3, and the fight's over there. So the second level 3. Now the next clips, this is the problem here, and it's 100% my fault, really. So I wasn't feeling too well today, and I laid down for a bit, and then basically I had about a 20-30 minute nap, and I woke up to a lot of pings from my alliance, kind of like, asking me to do the fights quickly. I know it's a horrible idea to fight just after you have woken up, and I kind of like, said that I'm just woken up, give me 15 minutes, stuff like that. But when I wrote it, then it said that, oh, if you don't do it now, basically, then, I can't be there for another hour and stuff like that. So I ended up rushing into both of these fights when I shouldn't have. I was still sleepy, I wasn't full, and you can see it in both of the fights, but, obviously with Dr. Doom, it's going to be much easier, but then we're going to have next fight that's going to be absolutely awful. I really shouldn't have fought, but we did have some, you know, lead in the war, as poor an excuse as it is. So I'm going to boost up and going to do this Nova fight. Nova fight, I wasn't worried at all, and to be honest, I underestimated the Killmonger fight too. And with Dr. Doom against Nova, you know, it's going to be easy peasy, lemon squeezy, absolutely nothing to worry about here. We're going to see that I don't have my coordination in order already, so getting intercepts not the worst thing, but it's going to be obvious with the level 1 evades when I dash back at wrong times, when he dashes in at me and stuff like that. But it's just one of those things what happens, you know, when people need to coordinate their schedules and stuff like that. And you know, I take full responsibility. I should have just said, no, give me like that amount of time and, you know, then I'll be ready. I should not have rushed myself. I even went to the bathroom, like splashed my face with cold water to try and wake myself up a bit more. But apparently it didn't quite work. And yeah, I should have just said no. Now, the ironic part of it is that it turns out it wasn't even relevant, and I could have taken as much time as I needed for these Section 2 fights, because I ended up doing all of them. There was like a MODOK mini-boss that wasn't assigned to me, but I figured out that I'm going to be able to take it anyways with a power boost and Hercules, because Hercules can bypass auto block. So the irony was that I rushed, it wasn't fast enough, stalled to wait another hour, which would have wasted boost, and I didn't want to do that. And then because I was quite pissed off, I ended up taking that MODOK that wasn't assigned to me with the permission of an officer. And it turned out then, if I knew that I would take that MODOK, I had no reason to rush in the first place. So it's, again, makes it even worse. And this fight's going to be criminal. I'm kind of even embarrassed to show it. So I'm going to use Hercules here. We need to start ramping up Hercules. It is Eventflow Intercept 1. And here, I really just should have went for heavy attacks. Now, there, that slide back is absolutely criminal on Hercules. It really surprised me, and I made the first mistake there. So, I nail in Intercept, I have 2 persistence. Here I just go for level 1 with the 1 precision buff. I thought, you know, we're going to start doing decent enough damage, but we're actually not. Then I noticed that Reverb's active, and I figured out I'm going to try and wait out the Reverb. And just, you know, drop a heavy attack. So far the fight goes well, but then I make one blunder after another. I try to intercept more and more, and well, long story short, I just play like an absolute dumbass, because at some point there, a bit of panic sets in. At some point, you know, I know exactly what I need to do, but my fingers are not listening to me, and this is like one of the most embarrassing fights to show. It is genuinely embarrassing. No matter what I can say, it's me fighting very, very, very poorly that I risked, and hey, that luckily immortality triggers, but at this point I'm already at borrowed time, and he's still at 50% health, because his health just does not go in, because obviously I don't have the ebb and flow intercept protection down. And go for another level 1, trying to be as aggressive as possible, whilst I still have the immortality. The immortality now is fast expiring as he's going for his level 1, and there I wanted to get an intercept and go for an aggressive play. I probably could have survived if I wasn't just as aggressive there at the end. It was just a horrible, horrible play. I really shouldn't have done that fight, and it's just embarrassing. So I go in there and, you know, woken up after this huge screw up, finish up the fight how I should have done it in the first place. So I just go for parry heavies, slowly build up my charges so I can do more and more extra damage. And, you know, that's pretty much the only thing that matters. And then I get in an intercept at advantageous time, and that's it. It was an easy fight. There was absolutely no reason to die to it. And I'm an idiot. Luckily, it didn't affect the result of the war, but it always sucks when you... Well, this is actually, I think, one of the very first times when I start an Alliance War season with a death, and it really does sting. It really does. Kind of flipped my day. But now, again, this MODOK was assigned to somebody else, but he couldn't play for about an hour or so. And I asked my officers if I can take it with Hercules, because I can fully boost it already. I had kind of planned to use these boosts till I get to the boss. And So I start with the power back boost here. So I bait out that auto block charge that he has. The quick intercept, activate my level 1, and we can see that that MODOK is absolutely melting. And since Hercules can bypass auto block after his level 1s, I knew that as long as I can finish out the fight relatively quickly, it's going to be super easy job there. No problem at all. And I was meant to get a pre-fight for this Hulkbuster, but couldn't really wait. And I'm going to go in without the pre-fight. And this is the first defender that I'm doing now with the unstoppable armor. Yeah, unstoppable armor, global node now. And that node can be very frustrating. That node really can be frustrating. Luckily, obviously, I'm boosted to the guilds, so I really only need to get to about a level 2, and that's about it. So if I get to a level 2, like right now, I have 2 shocks on me, but that single level 2 pretty much takes care of the fight. Now, there he did go unstoppable, but I have my specials unblockable, and I capitalize on that. Super, super quick fight. But now, the best thing, the thing that was meant to make this Alliance War video awesome, the thing that, you know, I would otherwise be absolutely ecstatic about or happy, because I got the first boss fight of the season, and that's Nimrod. And I'm sure that Nimrod's going to be a fairly popular boss, because I hear that Nimrod's getting quite a few kills. So instead of Power Start 1, here I'm going to go with Invulnerability Boost. And well, that is for quite obvious reasons, because this Nimrod is going to be unstoppable plenty enough. So every 11 seconds, I believe, he has a chance to trigger that unstoppable, because he will automatically gain an armor buff. And then every 15 seconds, he has another chance to go unstoppable. So he has plenty of opportunities to go unstoppable in this fight. But the point is just to get to level 2. I probably would have been better off to try level 1 first, but I just wanted to capitalize on those power back boosts. So I'm going to go with straight to level 2. I'm going to abandon that level 1. So now I have 2 bars of power, and I just need to make sure that I intercept with my special attack. And even if he goes unstoppable midway through, which he does right here, you know, my special attack is unblockable, so it still connects, it still does damage, and indestructibility boost absorbs most of the damage there. Now he's going to use his level 2, which is fine. I'm just going to take it and block. I have plenty health there, and we can see that I have bar and a half of power. And if I can land another level 2, the fight should be over. Now that is going to be a tiny bit of a problem, because I'm going to screw this up a bit. So I needed to wait out the unstoppable here. I misread that he's running in at me, and the first 2 hits didn't connect, so he's still at 11%. But you know, the last 11% shouldn't be much of a problem, especially given that I'm at 50% health. I'm fully ramped. He's like 1% here. I do get clipped by this 1 hit, but I think a hit through block finishes this fight. So Nimrod boss with Hercules is definitely not too scary. And Hercules did a great job finishing it off. So it's cool that I did get a boss solo on the very first one. Also very, very mad at myself for fighting when I shouldn't have, and dying to a stupid Killmonger, and panicking, and playing like an asshat. But it's also quite impressive what difference like 10-15 minutes make once you get fully awake. Either way, silly me, silly first war, not happy with it. But we can put all of that aside, because the most important thing is that it looks like for the first time since I have joined New Nation, for about 4 seasons, I think, we actually didn't lose the first war of the season. So we might be over the New Nation curse of initial Alliance War losses. Maybe, hopefully. Let me know how did your wars go, people, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about